All right. Hello again. It's been about a year and a half-ish. I don't even know since the last time I updated this channel. But I want to start recording again, start getting my mind working and talking about some things that pass through my head on a daily basis here. And today I want to talk about youth in business. Basically, why we don't teach people, specifically children, teenagers, going through high school about entrepreneurship and about what dealing business is. I had the pleasure of connecting with a young entrepreneur recently, 23 years old, and owns a vape company called TBD Liquids, the Best Damn Liquids. Sold 25,000 units, started his business on his coffee table, basically at home, and has evolved his business completely naturally. He has no college education. Kids, living the dream essentially right now. Has a successful business that is his, creative source, that is his creative motivation, and he didn't learn it in school. So how do we learn it? How do we teach it? And why isn't it something that we prioritize? I remember when I was growing up and everyone was telling me, you want to be successful, be a doctor, be a lawyer. And now what we have is the most oversaturated markets in medical and law. They're the two most oversaturated, underpaid jobs for what they are. The only way that you're making money in law is if you're coming from a place where you have the money as soon as you get out of law school to start your own firm. That you've been working on, a client pipeline for years, going through your master's program and going through the bar, and the whole time you've basically been building up this industry. Medical, yeah, okay, you're going to get a job, you've got job security, but for the amount of time you're putting into it, to make less money than a 23-year-old kid in his house mixing juices? I mean, are you fucking kidding me, right? Why isn't it that we don't teach young people how to have business sense? Why is it that when I worked for a year and a half as a business consultant, I met with hundreds and hundreds of companies, literally hundreds of companies, all of them populated by, men that are between the ages of fucking 30 and 48 years old, and none of them have solid business sense. All of them seem to be kind of just figuring it out as they go along. And, when I talk to people who are looking for jobs, and I talk to people who are looking at how they can make money, and I start talking to them about what they do to find work, what they do to make these connections, they're at a loss. The way that the world works right now is you put an application in at some kiosk in the middle of a store, you maybe talk to a manager. When I talk to people, I'm like, have you called anyone on a phone? Have you asked for a supervisor? Have you asked for someone with pull and had a conversation with them, told them what your ideas for the company are, actually tried to shake hands and make business connections? It's seemingly like I'm speaking fucking gibberish to them. It's completely not there, and it blows me away, because that is the 101 of how business is done. Modern business is not done with the dinner and handshake model anymore. It's all cold calls and emails, learning how to do social media management, knowing how to create leads through places like Reddit, knowing how to actually run an ad campaign on Facebook, knowing how to make a proper resume, not just make a resume, but a proper resume, one that isn't going to get thrown in the trash right away. These things are just kind of expected of people as they're going through life now, and if you don't master these traits, you just wind up in a state of modicum, just mediocrity, and that's acceptable for most people. But the fact of the matter is like, we should be, as educators, aspiring for a greater result, aspiring for a greater, society. We want more Warren Buffetts. That's ultimately what makes our world tick. Doctors, lawyers, these are wonderful, specialized professions, but at the end of the day, the lawyer doesn't make the world go round. It's the Buffetts, it's the Elon Musks. Those are the guys that are making things happen. And I met this 23-year-old kid, runs the vape liquid shop. I landed a contract with him where I'm handling all of his digital photography right now. I'm working on his content marketing, content management for his website, helping him get up to speed, sharing my experience with him and my expertise, and he's offering me, a paid contract and insight into the industry. It's remarkable to me how such a young person has such a knack for picking up things. But then I also look at my boss, Adam. He didn't finish high school. He got into clickbait marketing when it was brand new, when it was the first, it was like investing in Bitcoin essentially, right? The fucking gold rush of digital content marketing. Made tons of money, made a killing in that industry. And again, no formal education. So as parents, why don't we start teaching kids how to handle business? As, in public education, why don't we do this? Why don't we offer business courses in the same way that we offer math courses through Khan Academy? Why don't we teach kids taxes? And not just, how to file bullshit everyday normal taxes, how to actually do freelance taxes. Why don't we push freelance on young people? Why don't we encourage entrepreneurial ventures? At 16, 17, starting up websites is easier than ever. The cost of setting up a site, $200, for a year. This is something that it just eludes me. And I was thinking about it today when, I was finishing up this contract for this 23-year-old, John is his name. And, I'm curious how long it'll be before it starts clicking with people. That we're in a global market now, that's just how the world works. And when I look at, young people, I look at my sister, I look at people that that are going through high school now, and I talk to them about what their goals are. I talk to them about, I talk to this guy that I play D&D with every Thursday, young kid, 17, going on 18. I talk to him about what industry he wants to get into. I talk to him about work. And he asked me questions like, what's the best thing I can do right now? Build a portfolio. Start working. Fuck college, dude. Fuck wasting away and spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Go hands-on. Start an internship at 17. Call someone in the industry and say, I want to shadow you for the day. Or, I'm a young guy. I'm interested in your business. I was hoping that maybe you could share some insight and mentor me. And, dude, that is the quickest way to get into any industry. Seriously, you shake hands and you suck dicks. Like, you just start stroking them off. Every single fucking dick. Oh, I really love your company. I love the work you do. I've been looking at your company for the past, 6 months. I see that you work with Aerotine. I see that you work with, the Jem Jacobs up the road. I was curious. I have this idea for your company. If you would, if you have maybe a few hours sometime during the week, I'd love to talk to you about it and talk about what I do and see if there's not any way that I can get involved with your company. Just, that's how you fucking make progress these days, but no one's teaching that. Instead, they want to rack up $100,000 in student loans to get a piece of paper with no actual pragmatic effect on how you get a job in the industry. Because if a person wants to hire you, they will. It doesn't matter what piece of paper you have. If a person likes you, if a person fucking likes you, you get the job. Congratulations. It's just such a crazy thought to me, and going forward, I'm just really interested to see in 20, 30 years whether we're still going to be treating high school and public education as a continuing sort of like cyclical rhetoric of medical legal like push. If that is the end all be all of where we'll be, or if within 30 years we'll actually start teaching kids how to fucking file receipts, how to not pay twice as much on sales tax. These are just things that I think about. But best of luck to you.